Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh and a very good morning to everyone. So today, I will continue on my video for chapter 3, part 3 for subject BMM 1553 Dynamics. Previously, in my two videos, I already explained on the relative motion analysis velocity to determine position and velocity of a rigid body. And in part 2 of my video, I explained about the instantaneous center of zero velocity or IC to determine velocity of a rigid body. In the second method, instead of using relative velocity equation, it is much more simpler to use IC to determine the velocity of a rigid body. So, you already learn and understand and I believe memorize the equations for these both topics. To continue my lesson for chapter 3, this video will explain about relative motion analysis acceleration. So, how to obtain the relative acceleration equation? Actually, relative acceleration equation can be obtained by using number 1, relative velocity equation. I will explain to you on how to obtain the relative acceleration equation using relative velocity equation in the next slide. Guys, today's objectives is students will be able to resolve the acceleration of a point on a body into components of translation and rotation. So, whenever there is a translation and rotation motion, so it must be general plane motion. The second one, determine the acceleration of a point on a body by using relative acceleration analysis or relative acceleration equation. So once again, how can we obtain the relative acceleration equation using relative velocity equation? I will show you on how to obtain this equation. Okay guys, here I have a link of AB. This link of AB moves with a general plane motion. You already understand that in general plane motion, it is actually a combination of translation motion and also rotation about a fixed axis motion. So, in this link AB, we have point A and point B. In translation motion, we already understand in chapter 1 that is in translation motion, the velocity at any point is actually equal. For example, for this link, velocity at point A and velocity at point B is the same. Thus, VA equal to VB. With same logic, it is similar with acceleration. So, acceleration at point A moves with acceleration AA. Similarly, at point B, acceleration at point B moves with acceleration AA as well. Thus, AAA equal to AB. Now, this is the translation motion. Please focus on point B here. We want to know the acceleration at point B. However, guys, for this link, it is not only translation, but it also moves with rotation about fixed axis motion. So now, what happened with point B? So we already know that at point B, there is AA acceleration take place. Now, for rotation about fixed axis, this point B moves in the rotation motion about the base point A. So, it is a relative acceleration of point B about A. We denoted it with ABA. this ABA is actually can be divided into two other components, which are acceleration tangential, denoted with ABAT, and also acceleration normal, denoted with ABAN. So guys, at this point B, we have AA and we also have ABA, which consists of ABAT and ABAN. Thus, the equation for acceleration at point B is equal to AA plus ABA. Now, how to extend this equation? Let's see in the next slide. The equation relating the accelerations of 2 points on the body is determined by differentiating the velocity equation with respect to time. Just now, we already understand on how to get the acceleration, the relative acceleration equation by using these figures. However, guys, actually, that equation can be obtained using differentiation of relative velocity equation that we already learned in part 2. So this is the relative velocity equation, VB equal to VA plus VBA. Now, let's differentiate this equation with respect to time to get acceleration. dVB over dt equal to dVA over dt plus dVBA over dt. So this is the differentiation process of this relative velocity equation. Now, for these two terms are measured with respect to a set of fixed x and y axes. This axis already explained in chapter 3, part 1 of the video. These two terms is actually represent the absolute accelerations of point B and point A. Okay, so AB and AA is actually the absolute acceleration of that particular point. Now, the first and second term are absolute acceleration. So now, let's see the third term of this equation. As we can see here, it is dVBA dt. So it must be relative acceleration component of point B about A. So for this third term, it is represent the relative acceleration component, which is equal to the acceleration of B with respect to A as measured to translating x prime and y prime axis origin at base point A. ABA can be expressed in terms of its normal and tangential components, as I already explained to you guys in a previous slide. So, ABA equal to ABAT plus ABAN, where ABAT equal to and ABAN equal to, you already learned this in previous chapters. So please memorize this equation. Alright, tangential component acceleration is alpha times relative position BA, and normal acceleration is omega squared times with relative position BA. So now guys, we have this equation of relative acceleration equation, AB equal to AA plus ABA. Since ABA associates with tangential and normal components, then we have to substitute these terms, two terms inside this equation. So it will become AB equal to AA plus ABA tangential plus ABA normal. Okay, right. Now, once you substitute this equation inside this equation, you will get AB equal to AA plus tangential components, okay, times with normal components. Okay, why this sign is negative? Please read the book. Actually, you already learned about this sign based on these motions in chapter 2. So, this is the equation for relative acceleration equation. AB equal to AA, and these two are absolute acceleration plus tangential component of acceleration BA minus normal acceleration of BA. In Hibbeler book, the explanation of this equation is written in equation 16.18. So please read the Hibbeler book as an additional knowledge for you guys. Now, in applying the relative acceleration equation, the 2 points used in the analysis, A and B, should generally be selected as points which have a known motion, such as pin connections with other bodies. In this mechanism, point B is known to travel along a circular path. This point B is moving in a circular path motion. So AB can be expressed in terms of its normal and tangential components. Okay, so here is circular path or rotation about a fixed axis A. So in here, there must be normal and tangential components. Note that point B on link BC will have the same acceleration as point B on link AB. Okay, even though here these two links are different motion, however, point B acceleration will be the same for link AB and also link BC. Point C connecting link BC and the pistons moves along a straight line path. Hence, AC is directed horizontally to the right. Okay, when B moves from a fixed point A, point C also moves horizontally to the right. Okay, now let's see several types that we can see from this subtopic. First, bodies in contact. For example, these two gears, okay, gear B and gear C. Here, got another point A, which is the intersection between gear B and gear C. Now, consider two bodies in contact or two gears in contact with one another without slipping, where the points in contact move along different paths. So we have gear B move clockwise rotation, and then gear C moves in counterclockwise rotation. In this case, the tangential components of acceleration will be the same. So now, let's see at this point A. The tangential component here, downward arrow, is the same. between point A and also point A prime. So AA T equal to AA prime T. Tangential component is the same. How about normal component? Okay, normal component always tangential to the fixed point. Okay, the normal components of acceleration will not be the same. Okay, AAN is not equal to AA prime N because we have different radius here for each gear. Understand? So please remember, tangential component is the same. However, normal component is not the same for bodies in contact. Let's see another example. Rolling disc without slipping. We have this disc and the center point is G, and we have point A is in contact with ground. Okay, so this is ground and point A is in contact with ground. Since no slip occurs, guys, whenever you see a question written that no slip occurs or no slipping, so that point, that particular point velocity is equal to 0. That is why VA equal to 0. From the kinematic diagram, VG equal to VA plus omega times RGA. So what is this equation? This is relative velocity equation that we learned in chapter 3 part 2 video. Now, by substituting or separate all the IJK components, we will get VGI equal to VA equal to 0 plus negative omega K times with RJ. Okay? Omega moves in a clockwise, so it is negative, times with RJ. So K times J, we will get negative I times I times negative is positive. Hence, we will get VG equal to omega R or VG equal to omega Ri in vector. So, this is rolling disc without slipping velocity. Actually, for this condition, you already learned in chapter 3 part 2 video. Now, let's see the third situation. Rolling disc without slipping acceleration. So, now, we need to focusing on acceleration. We have the same disc in contact with ground at point A. Since G moves along a straight line path, AG is horizontal. Okay, just before A touches ground. Before this A touches ground, for example, A is here, before it rolls and touching the ground, its velocity is directed downward. Okay, directed downward because before the point touching ground, the velocity is directed downward. However, how about after it made contact with the ground? Okay, after it made contact with the ground, its velocity is directed upward. So we have here RGA. Thus, point A accelerates upward as it leaves the ground. Then, from relative acceleration equation that we already remember from previous slide, we can separate all the IJK components and equate I and J components. We will get AG equal to alpha R and AA equal to omega squared R. Or in vector, it can be written as AG equal to alpha R I component and AA equal to omega squared R J component. Guys, please remember and memorize all of these equations that is written in yellow red box. Okay, sometimes in the examination, there will be equations given. However, if you don't know on how to use that equation, it is useless. So, please remember each equation for each condition. Okay, then in the examination, you can write your own notes in the equation given. Okay, at the final page, last page of the question sheets. Alright. Now, let's see rolling this without slipping acceleration. The same condition with this one. However, for this condition, we can use IC. Okay, we can use instantaneous center of zero velocity. Okay, the same result can also be determined using IC method, where point A is the IC. Since G moves along a straight line, its acceleration in this case can be determined from the time derivative of its velocity, and you will get this equation written as 16.20 in Hibbeler. So now, I give you some pop quiz about this topic. First question. If two bodies contact one another without slipping, okay, bodies in contact, and the points in contact move along different paths, okay, the tangential components of acceleration will be nani, and the normal components of acceleration will be nani. Okay, what is for the first one and the second one? So which one? Is it same tangential components and normal components also same? For option A, tangential component is the same, normal components is different. For option B, tangential component is different and normal component is the same. Option C, and both are different for option D. So which one? It should be B. Tangential component of acceleration will be the same, and the normal components of acceleration will be different. So please recap on condition bodies in contact. Now, second question. When considering a point on a rigid body in general plane motion, A. Its total acceleration consists of both absolute acceleration and relative acceleration components. Is this correct? B. Its total acceleration consists of only absolute acceleration components. Means AB equal to AA. C. Its relative acceleration component is always normal to the path. D. None of the above. So now, which one is the answer? It should be A. Its total acceleration consists of both absolute acceleration and relative acceleration component, as written in the equation of relative acceleration equation. AB equal to AA plus ABA. Okay, so ABA is the relative acceleration component. AB and AA are both absolute acceleration. Alright, so now for the first example, exercise 17, I obtained this question somewhere. I don't remember, but it's not from Hibbeler. So, given point A on road AB has an acceleration of 5 meter per second squared and a velocity of 6 meter per second at the instant shown. Now, you need to find the angular acceleration of the road and the acceleration at B at this instant. So you need to calculate the alpha angular acceleration and also AB, okay, for this instant, for this system at a particular instant. Alright, let's see the solution together. Alright, so now I will explain on the solution of example 1. Point A on road AB has an acceleration of 5 meter per second squared and a velocity of 6 meter per second at the instant shown. Find the angular acceleration of B at this instant. So I already draw the system here. So you have point A and point B. You have point A, the acceleration downwards, AA equal to 5 meter per second squared and also velocity A equal to 6 meter per second. Meanwhile, for point B, we have this direction of acceleration B to the right. So now guys, similar with relative velocity equation. Okay, so for relative acceleration equation, whenever you notice several things that make you possible to use IC, instantaneous center of zero velocity, then you can use IC for, to solve the question. I mean to obtain velocity or angular velocity of a rigid body, of a point of a rigid body. So now from here we have two non-parallel velocities, okay, non-parallel direction. First we have point A here, the pink color, and then we have point B here, the pink color. So now we have two non-parallel direction of velocity or acceleration. Then it is from method 2 of IC. Whenever you have two non-parallel, then you can write or draw the location of IC. So just draw the perpendicular line for this pink line. Okay, draw the perpendicular line of this pink line. Similarly, for this line, draw the perpendicular line, 90-degree line. And then the point where it intersects is the location of the IC. So here we have the location of IC. Alright, so here I draw the kinematic diagram. So we have point A, point B, and then we have IC here. So of course, here is RAIC. Okay, the position of point A to IC is RAIC. And then here we already know 4 meter and the hypotenuse also we already know 5 meter. Alright, so from the equation of instantaneous velocity of equation, okay, we can use this equation. VA equal to omega times RAIC. This is the velocity equation using IC. Okay, so now you can determine, okay, VA you already know from the question is 6 meter per second over RAIC. What is left for you to do is calculate RAIC. So here you have triangle 4, 5, then here is 3. Okay, so I won't explain how you will get 3. This is a very simple mathematics. So 6 over 3 you will get 2 radian per second. So you will get omega A equal to 2 radian per second. So now, since both points A and B move along straight line paths, okay, since both points A and B move along straight line paths, then AA is equal to negative 5J. Alright, so AA equal to, AA equal to negative 5J. It's a downward direction. So it is negative and it must be J component. So meanwhile for AB, it should be ABI. It is to the left, to the right, and it is positive. Okay. So now we already know AA equal to negative 5J, AB equal to ABI. AB equal to ABI. We don't know yet the value for the magnitude for acceleration B. Alright. So now applying the relative acceleration equation, So you already learned this in the slide. AB equal to AA plus alpha times RBA minus omega squared RBA. Okay, here is omega A. Alright. So just substitute the one that you already proved just now. So ABI, because they don't have J component. Okay, ABI don't have J component, only I component, equal to negative 5J, because for A position, they don't have I component. So only J component and it's downward, so negative 5J. Plus alpha K. Alright, this is the tricky part for relative acceleration equation. Compared to relative velocity equation, you have to partner K component with omega. That is for relative velocity equation. But then for relative acceleration equation, please don't forget to partner the alpha with K. Alright? Alpha with K component. Okay? Times with RBA. 3I minus 4J. Okay, how do I get RBA? 3I. Okay, here is 3I minus 4J. Minus 4J. So 3 positive minus 4 negative J. Alright, so 3I minus 4J minus 2 squared omega A, which we already proved just now, 2 radian per second, times with RBA. Again, you substitute 3I minus 4J. And then you just simplify this equation. K times I, K times J, okay? Then you simplify, you will get 4 alpha minus 12 I component plus 11 plus 3 alpha J component. Okay. Solving both I and J components, you will get AB equal to negative 26.7 meter per second squared and alpha equal to negative 3.67 radian per second. Alright, so it is negative, so it is clockwise, okay, clockwise direction. Please write the direction. So we already proved the angular acceleration here, the angular acceleration for this question. Okay, second question, exercise 18, example 2. Given the gear with a center at O rolls on the fixed rack, find the acceleration of point A at this instant. Okay, we have point A here and you need to calculate the acceleration at this point. Let's see the solution together. Alright, for example 2, the solution is as follows. The gear with center O rolls on the fixed rock. Find the acceleration of point A at this instant. Okay, now you have this one gear roll without slipping on a fixed rock. Okay, we have AO here. This is AO, acceleration of point O. And then we have point A here and this is point O. Alright, so we already given with the alpha and omega 6 and 12 radian per second squared respectively. Okay, omega equal to 12 radian per second, right? No square here. Alright, since the gear rolls on the fixed rock without slip, AO, so AO equal to alpha Ri. So how do I get this equation? You must remember our condition of rolling this without slipping. Okay, we already learned in the slide just now. Okay, we have a gear here and the center point G. But then in this case, it is O. Okay, so the acceleration at point G is given as this equation. AG equal to alpha Ri, because it moves to the right in the I component, no J component. Okay, so for this question, we will get AO equal to alpha times with R. Okay, so alpha already given 6 radian per second squared times with r 0.3 meter, then you will get 1.8 meter per second squared. So AO equal to 1.8 meter per second squared. So guys, please remember those equations depends on the situation or condition of the question. So this question gives you a gear rolling without slipping on a fixed rack. Okay, so you have to use this equation. Alright. Okay. Then by applying the relative acceleration equation between points O and A, as usual, just write the relative acceleration equation. AA equal AO plus alpha times RAO minus omega squared RAO. So AO is 1.8I. Okay, 1.8I we already determined just now. And it is only I component, we don't have J component. Okay, plus with alpha negative 6K. Because it is clockwise. Times with 0.3J, 0.3J, J component minus with omega squared. Omega is given 12 radian per second times with 0.3J. Then just separate between I and J components. Now you will have the acceleration vector for point A, 3.6I minus 43.2J meter per second squared. So sometimes there will be question that will not ask you about the magnitude. Okay, you don't have the value, but then you can answer in vector. Okay, because there's no solution for here. So A for AA for I component is 3.6 meter per second. And then AA for J component is negative 43.2 meter per second. Alright. Okay, the third example, exercise 19. Member AB is rotating with omega AB equal to 4 radian per second and alpha AB equal to 5 radian per second squared. At this instant, the motion and direction of this motion is different between omega and alpha. Please take note on that. Find the velocity and acceleration of the slider block C. Alright, let's see the solution together. Alright, for third example, exercise 19. Member AB is rotating with omega AB equal to 4 radian per second, alpha AB equal to 5 radian per second squared. At this instant, find the velocity and acceleration of the slider block C. Okay, please find the velocity and also acceleration of the slider block C. Alright, for this example, I would like you guys to do it by yourself. I will submit the solution because it is quite long and it is important for you guys to try to solve this question. Okay, it's a big hint. You have to try solve this question. Okay, for your final examination. So I will give you the solution instead of insert in this video. So I will give you the solution and please try it by yourself and compare your calculation process with my calculation process. So yeah, that's all for example for this chapter. Now we already see several examples for chapter 3 part 3 relative acceleration equation questions. Actually, we have finished all chapter 3 lessons. Please do several examples that you can obtain from Hibbeler, like in this slide, exercise 20, exercise 21, example 16-15, and also exercise 22, example 16.16 from Hibbeler. Please do it by yourself. As you know, relative acceleration equation for chapter 3 part 3 will not be included in midterm examination. So it will be included in your final examination, question 1. Okay, I see you guys in chapter 4. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.